Welcome, welcome, and in this video we're going to whiz through a few tips and tricks to help you tell stories that feature animals or creatures. And many thanks to Claire Franken who suggested this video in the first place. Thank you. So the first challenge to overcome is how much you're going to humanize them, and by that I mean how human do they appear. So if you are taking habits and behavior and language from humans and it's just an animal that's portraying it, for example, then it's pretty straightforward. Things can get more complicated if you're starting to invent a whole species from scratch. If you have animals or creatures in your story and they are the principal cast, then why not have them speak English right from the outset? Don't justify it, don't explain it, just do it. It worked for Disney. If your characters communicate using their own tongue or their own language, if you like, then why not translate that language through subtitles that appear at the bottom of the screen? It's pretty much an industry standard, but audiences are actually divided on the subject. Some are very pro subtitles, whereas others find them distracting and annoying. A less common option is for characters to start conversations in their own tongue using narration and then to suddenly change at some point into speaking English but using a foreign accent. If your story already has narration, then why not use your narrator to convey the gist of the conversation to the audience? You have to be a little bit careful though, because large periods of conversation can be very difficult to convey. So it's always important to be able to still dramatize what's being said rather than trying to explain it. Translation comes in various forms, but it's basically a point where one of the characters is translating something that another character says or does, or a behavior, to another member of the cast. So think of Chewbacca or Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the important things to remember in here is that you are effectively duplicating what is spoken, one in the original language and then the translation. So it's often better to try and convey and condense the original spoken words to either grunts or very short sentences. Translation also works pretty well with strangers, where two people or one person and a creature or two creatures have a completely different language and a completely different culture. Common props are pretty good, so you could use fire, you could use your name, I am so-and-so and who are you, or you could use a object that each of you use, a pen or a razor, etc. Translation is also appropriate for written form, so it could be that an expert finds hieroglyphics or other evidence of a foreign or alien culture and uses it to determine the rules of that culture and also the language. This is great for conveying character, world of the story, backstory, etc. This is also particularly useful if you've deliberately chosen not to have a mentor whose job it is to convey the rules and the world of the story. Quick tip though, whatever you're using, make sure that the technology and the practical application of any translation is explained right from the get-go. For example, science fiction, you could avoid having a person translate by having a microchip embedded in your head or an earpiece that constantly translate the spoken word whenever they hear it. The important thing to remember is that movies are a visual medium, so it's important that you're able to take the issue of dialogue completely out of the equation. Love, anger, passion, betrayal, all of these things can be conveyed by dramatizing them as opposed to speaking them. So even if you're telling the story of humans and not aliens and not somebody from a foreign culture, it's important to remember that dialogue is not the principal means to convey those messages. In the description below, I've stuck a link to the BFI's top 10 list of films with little or no dialogue, so go check those out. So if there's anything I've missed or you've got favourite examples in the movies that you like and they could be good or could be bad, then please stick them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and please show your support by taking the time to like and subscribe. Everyone is really appreciated. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. is my cry for help, Bert. My cry... This is my cry for help without actually crying for help, Bert. Okay, so... that came off pretty easy. I was expecting that to tear. That's it. Have fun, write your stories, and